Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Boogie with the Bull. Red Friday morning caffeine. I'm Dave Globin. Randy Rhodes is. We're going to change the screen position because that just makes it a little easier for me. Randy Rhodes is up there, and William Lockett, live from Alaska, is with us this morning, and we are going to talk politics plus whatever comes out of our mouths. We are live on the Dave Globin profile here on Facebook, and we are live on the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel somewhere over there. So people can watch on either side. If anyone wants to join the broadcast, all you have to do is look at William and say, please. And if William says okay, we will add you to the panel. We're on for about an hour and a half, depending on Randy's availability and William's availability this morning. So, Randy, why don't you lead us through Red Friday morning, because you do such an excellent job.
Oh, is that right? Hang on a second. Let me get my mouth in front of my mouth. There we go. Hi, Joe. Okay, that's a heck of a lot better, right, guys? So, why do we celebrate Red Shirt Friday? That's a very good question. I'm glad you guys in the audience are asking that question. It shows that you are paying attention. Yes, I am wearing a red shirt. Dave's wearing a red shirt. Oh, we got a
red shirt.
Oh, well, okay. He's gonna go. He's gonna get it. I see it hanging there.
Okay.
Anyway, so
I was gonna ask him the usual question: are you wearing something red? And then if he says yes, then we're okay to go.
Okay.
Well, I got my PJs. Does that count? Kind of red.
Yeah. No, you're fine. You're fine because I've woken up a few times with Randy and realized that I wasn't in a red shirt until we were live. So you're okay as long as your thoughts are in the right place and your heart is working. Then you're good to go. So go ahead, Randy.
You know what, guys? I need to jump off for about a fast 5 or 10 minutes. I just got an email that definitely looks, before I got this email that says I authorized $500 for Norton LifeLock, which I did not.
Ooh.
And it might be one of those where if you.
Well, the important thing is if it came out of your email, it came out of your bank account. If it didn't come out of your bank account, they can say they authorized whatever, and then it's just junk.
Let me do a quick check of my bank. Then if not, then I will do that later. But anyways, so Red Shirt Friday is we honor the men and women in the military because. Well, without them, we wouldn't have a nation to start with, and we wouldn't be protected and be able to speak whatever language we want to, and go to school and go to the churches of our choosing. Those men and women are placing themselves their lives online, and they really don't have to. I mean, it's a volunteer military, okay? And they are volunteering their expertise in whatever field they chose, whether it be infantry, whether it be airplane maintenance, a pilot, a tank commander. But they're also volunteering the possibility of their lives being taken or severely wounded in combat, and that is a special kind of person, along with our men and women in blue who are in the police department, who are the fire department. I mean, when you and I are running out of the house that's on fire, or out of that mall that there's a shooter rampaging through the mall, they're running in to protect those who are in there. So we take one day out of our lives. This particular time segment is like maybe 15, 20 minutes to give these people the respect that they deserve. And not there's been comments made about, if you walk up and say, oh, I see you're in the military. Thank you for your service. Well, that's, be careful, because some folks won't respond well to that. If you see them wearing military garb or even in full military, walk up to them, start up a conversation, and then eventually see where they're at. And thank you. Just simply say thank you. And, that goes a long way because, our military has gone through some changes. And a lot of times, I don't think they feel that we respect them the way they should be respected. Now, we have a new guy in charge of the military, Pete Hegseth, um, and he's in the process now of cleaning things up, making the military stronger, bringing in bigger and better weapons, getting the men and women in shape, making them go, lose the weight, lose the hair, the beard, start ironing and starching your uniforms, and start looking like you're in the military. Because one thing I learned is that if you look like a slop, you're going to live life as a slop. But if you press your shirt, not necessarily a tie, but press your shirt, your pants, you comb your hair, you shave your teeth, it goes a long way to um, making you feel better. So he's in the process of cleaning up the military, making them be proud of themselves again, and I think he's going to make our military stronger for it and more of a weapon of design against our enemies when they think twice now. Oh, we have Trump's in the White House, Pete Hegseth's in DOD. The military has been cleaned up. This is no longer a Biden military where you just walk in and take over. These folks are something to be concerned and scared of, and that's what we need. Our enemies scared of us. And to that, I take my hats off to every man and woman who wears uniform of the military, whether it be the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Coast Guard, the space. I love the space folks, and so forth, as well as the men and women in blue who also are due their respect. And with that, I will shut up.
No, you don't have to shut up, William. Anything you would like to add?
No,
You don't have to. I
Randy.
threw you on the spot.
Randy has an amazing point when you're talking about how starching your shirt and your pants and pressing your stuff makes you feel better, because it's kind of a way of self-care. When you start putting more effort into your appearance for yourself, not for anybody else, then you wind up getting this boost of confidence when you go out and you get compliments on how you look. You get the recognition for being somebody who goes above and beyond. Subconsciously, it's a really good booster of serotonin in the brain.
Yeah.
But just to get up and have those routines, get up, brush your teeth in the morning, make your bed, whatever your routine happens to be, the routine is important.
I know when I was in basic training with the Air Force, let me tell you, it was um, uh, I joined it because I wanted to make my dad proud of me because my brother joined the Navy and my dad's 22 years in the Air Force. So that didn't go over too well. But when I tried the college thing for hotel management, I found out that what they were teaching in the classroom was not what real world was actually all about. It's the absolute total opposite. And I thought to myself, why am I going to wind up spending all this money on a college degree that everything they teach me is not going to be made use of in the real world? So I quit. And like I said on Dave's show the other day, my dad called me into his office in the house and he said, shut the door. And usually when he tells me to shut the door, it's usually one of those kind of, you're in deep shit, Randy, kind of
One of them serious
conversations.
talks.
Yeah. So speaking quietly, he said he showed me the bill because he got the bill because I quit college, and he said, "I understand, Randy." He said, "I'm going to pay this for you. Don't you dare tell your mother that I did this." Okay, so she went to her grave not knowing my dad paid multiple $1,000s in a college degree. But after that, I joined the Air Force. You know, and maybe as a way to make my dad feel good about me again. Um, so um, when you get there, and I was 18, right? And you get there, and you're on that bus with everybody else, and you get off that bus, and the first thing that you're met with is this guy screaming and cursing at you like you never heard before. And then you get your hair shaved. I mean, it's shaved down to the skin.
Shaved.
And and then it's usually I don't know why they always have you arriving at the base at night because it's always dark when you get there. So you get all that, and then you get your first set of uniforms, and you go to your barracks, and here you're in a room with 30, 40 other guys, and you lay your head down for the first time, and the first thing I took was I kill. There's no hair. This feels weird. But then you fall asleep and you wake up with again the same guy screaming at the top of his lungs, telling you to get up, get washed, get dressed, get out, blah blah blah. Right? And it's like 5 in the morning. It's like holy shit, it's still dark out.
It is.
And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell did I do? What did I get myself involved with? And I realized this was it. There is no quitting this. You don't walk away from this. But it
You don't
got
walk
better.
away from this. Your mom's not going to come pick
Yeah,
you up.
mommy can't help me, and you can't write home to your mommy and daddy for the first few weeks because they want you to acclimate to the new world. But eventually, again, getting back to the, they watch you as you get your shower and make sure you shave. Well, you can't shave until you get a class. Okay, there's a special way of shaving, so you can't shave until you get this class, and then they give you the special razor blade to use, and then you have to shave because if you shave wrong, you'll leave some hair behind, and that hair gets stuck inside your skin, and you have all kinds of problems. Um, and then you make sure you brush your teeth, you have I think it's like what 5 or 10 minutes. You get washed, uh, take a dump or pee, whatever you got to do. Get washed, do your teeth, and get dressed and get the hell out the door. And and my
Yep.
wife says, "Randy, damn Randy, you eat fast, Randy." And I said, well, that's what you're taught. You get 5 minutes, 10 minutes to eat or whatever. But if your uniform it has a crease in it or a wrinkle or a stain, damn, you're in trouble. So, and there's a reason for it. Because if your uniform is dirty, there's a chance your rifle is dirty. And if your rifle is dirty and you're in combat, you're screwed. Because that's rifle may not fire when you need it to fire. So again, to the men and women who are active duty, to men and women who are retired, are on disability, God bless you. One thing I did learn, I'll shut up, is that I don't have life insurance, and same for my wife. And it's like, damn, if we die, who's going to bury our asses, right? So I found this advertisement for military life insurance.
I'm sorry, Randy. If we charged $1 to get into your front yard, we could probably raise $1 million and create the Randy and your Claudette Rhodes Foundation. But and probably find a place to bury you there. No, I'm teasing here.
In
I
the
understand what
backyard
you're
next
saying.
to the
The
tree.
doctors.
But so I saw this ad for military life insurance. It's legit. So I reached out to them and gave them my military information, and holy shit, it is cheap.
Really?
Oh my god! A $100,000 life insurance policy for me was $85
Wow.
at
That
my
ain't bad.
age.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, there's a massive group rate because everybody in the military probably buys it.
And my wife was like $50 for the same. Now it times out at age 80, but then you get this additional life insurance policy for 25 grand. That's like 15, $20 that kicks in when the whole life ends at age 80. And I thought, damn, that's cheap. That's cheap.
So at age 80, do you stop paying, and even though you're still
Correct.
living,
Well, yeah.
you
What
just
happens
stop it?
if I live?
Or I mean,
That's why she
what
had.
happens? Does it?
That's why she said about using that rider. So if I lived to 80, okay, the insurance stops. Okay, at age 81, the insurance will stop. The $100,000 policy will stop. If I can continue living beyond age 80, then the additional policy of 25 grand, whatever, kicks in, and then I'm only paying like I think it's like $30, $40 a month, and it's like,
But
damn, sign
so
me
when
up.
you pass, so when you pass away after 80, do you get $125,000, or do you only get
You
$25,000?
get to 125.
Oh, cool.
Okay, good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when
Well,
you hit
I mean,
80, it just
I
kind of
won't get it.
locks
My
you in.
wife will. What?
So,
So when you get
so when
80,
you're
it locks you into
330,
that
it's
100K, and then you can get the
right,
additional 25 on top of that.
Correct. So
right,
you signed up ahead of time for the
right.
25. So if I were to do the 25 plus 100, I'm looking at just under $200 for myself. Okay. And that's a
Right.
price. That's a dollar amount. I told her that
Yeah.
only with my doing genealogy, that's one of my clients paying me a month. That's what they pay me. So
Yeah.
I figured,
Well,
right there, I'll just take that money that person pays me. It goes right to my life insurance premium.
yes.
My wife's is like $50 for the same setup. It's like, damn, you know, my daughter,
Yeah.
I can get from my daughter no matter what age. So if I get her to 100 grand as well, she is insured into age 50 at $30 a month. And of course, at age
Wow.
50, she's hopefully married and her
Yeah.
husband picks her up. But I can also add my grandkids.
Hmm, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hmm. The whole Rhodes, the whole Rhodes family
Yeah.
is
Well, I'm
covered.
not paying for my grandkids. That's not my son.
Well, okay. I'm paying my own so that my wife and my grandsons get my wife, my grandsons and my granddaughter get something. You know,
Yeah. So
aside from
the sad thing, guys, is that I love I went into reserves first because I wanted to make sure that if I'm going to make this life changing commitment, I want to make sure that first off I can do the job, and second that I'm going to enjoy what I'm doing. So,
yeah.
so the first two are fine. I loved what I was doing. I loved the job, and I was seriously looking to go active duty. But then started seeing some things that, oh, wait a minute, let me think this thing through. Uh, the active duty guys were showing up to work drunk. They were driving forklifts into the side into the one guy drove a forklift into the side of a C-130. Um,
Damn.
Another guy unloaded bombs, but airdrop bombs into the general cargo section instead into the secured cargo section. Um, the
Ouch.
only entertainment on the base itself was the movie theater. The food was great. My God, the food was absolutely phenomenal. Okay, um, but it was the bowling alley and the movie theater. If you
Yep.
went off base, this is in Dover, Delaware. If you went off base, the only entertainment you had was the red light district. And I'm thinking to myself,
Okay.
wow, I'm going to be, this is where I'll be stationed because my outfit was based out of Dover, Delaware. I thought, you know what? No, I'll stick it out with the reserves. And I did. I did my 4 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
My dad did 22.
I'm
He
glad.
loved it. He absolutely loved it.
Yep.
He
Yep.
traveled around the world. He was in the Congo War. He was in the Vietnam conflict twice. Uh, he flew into various Middle East countries. We were stationed here in Lancaster County. We went to New Jersey. From New Jersey, we went to England, and then from England went to California. So we traveled a lot. So he enjoyed it, and we enjoyed it as a family. Seeing all those new things, especially over in England. We were there for 3 years. You get to see all the castles and the palaces and
That's
the royal stuff.
That's very awesome.
The one
Yep.
thing we had to get used to was
Very
that the Queen owns the airwaves, right? So if you wanted to watch TV, you had to rent a TV. Okay, you couldn't just get it off the antenna.
Wow.
Right.
And the other weird thing
Right.
was is that there's no restrictions on the viewer programs. So we're watching the news, and the guy is covering this swimming team, right? And he goes back into the locker room. He takes off his clothes and he goes into the showers and
Oh,
he's
yeah.
showering, and then he goes into. And my mom said, "What the hell are you two boys watching?" I said, "We're watching the news, Mom." She said, "No, you're not." Click.
No, you're not. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, but
Yep.
the
Hey, on the news front,
military
I
is a good
heard
place.
that
It's fun. You guys have got to do it.
it is. It is. It is. On the news front, I heard that Ireland has refused Rosie O'Donnell's permanent
They're not
residency
stupid.
request over there, and I guess they've given her, I think, 30 days to leave.
Nice. I love that. Let all these Hollywood folks try to experience some real immigration problems.
Right, if she's even already there. Yeah, if she's even already there. But I guess that comes on the eve of Conan McGregor going over there and deciding that he was going to run for president of Ireland.
Conor McGregor's running for president.
Whatever it is. And I guess he's probably going to be asked to leave as well. So people have been asking where would the United States accept Rosie back if she wanted to come back? And I said, yeah, after about 50 years in El Salvador for leaving in the first place.
So this is the reason why she got kicked out, guys. So in a surprising decision, the Irish Department of Justice has denied actress and comedian Rosie O'Donnell's application for a residency, citing unspecified concerns related to her eligibility. O'Donnell, who has long expressed admiration for her Irish heritage and the country's cultural history, had reportedly sought to establish a permanent home in Ireland. According to sources within the Irish Naturalization and Immigration Services, O'Donnell's application was reviewed under standard residency criteria, which include proof of ancestry, financial stability, and a demonstrated connection to Irish culture. Despite her strong public support for Irish causes and frequent trips to the country, officials ultimately determined that she did not meet the necessary qualifications for permanent residency. So she is kicked out.
That's awesome.
So she's probably broke, which means that she doesn't have a pot of gold. She can't afford her own Guinness, which is the official beverage in Ireland.
She probably can't prove she has Irish roots.
Yeah, Guinness is good. I like Guinness.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be embarrassing to have to admit that your name is something like
now she's looking to move to Scotland.
It's really her name.
So she's looking to move to Scotland. I'm sure Scotland's gonna have the same rules. You know,
I'm sure Scotland's gonna tell the same thing.
But you know it doesn't make sense, guys. And I don't want this to start an argument. But if they're refusing her because not being able to prove Irish genealogy, what about the M people who are moving into those countries willy nilly? How are they being allowed to live there? Because they're not Irish.
They can be placed. They can be placed on Irish welfare. Irish Doge hasn't discovered them yet.
I don't know. So, what do you guys think about the new declaration in the White House under the Trump rule? All the new stuff he's added to the look of the office. All the gold, all the glitter, the really fancy
declaration.
Stuff. Oh yeah, I love it. I love it.
Well, the declaration is right. The declaration does have a home there. any other personal changes, he's probably going to take them with him when he leaves. Well, I don't know. He might leave them there, but I would think that he's probably going to take them with him.
If they came from his hotel, that's probably where they came from. He'll probably take them with.
If it's gold plated, it probably came from his penthouse.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
the desk was another president's. You get to pick which desk you want, unless you're bringing your own desk in.
Correct.
You get to pick your desk from what's there, and I forget whose desk it was before his. It was probably Trump 45's desk before it, because Joe Biden probably didn't want anything to do with it. He probably brought in his own, but he was gone for 500, almost 600 days of his presidency, which means that he spent very little time behind that desk also. Plus,
he probably didn't spend enough time in that office to put his ass to put an imprint into the seat of the chair.
Well, we all know he wasn't running shit, including his bowels. So, it wouldn't surprise me.
It's I don't know. I love what Trump's doing, and you know what really pisses me off is you got. I understand the Constitution was written the way it was written because they didn't want a king. Okay, they didn't want a dictator. But they left it so that the judicial people can tell the president what the hell to do. The big argument right now is him allowing the two planes to go through and unload those prisoners, and they're saying that he has to send the planes back to pick their asses up and bring them back here. And you got this liberal judge who hates Trump. And we know he hates Trump. And I've been watching Newsmax, and Trump is going to have to wind up taking this thing to the Supreme damn Court to keep from bringing them back and to continue deporting these people who don't belong here. I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Everything he does, all they have to do is find some crazy half-wit judge on some leftist circuit and be like, then all of a sudden they can stop it? Like, that don't make no sense.
And she's a judge from New York.
Yeah, Ninth Circuit. Or 11th, which one?
But this time, I would imagine they will judge shop just like the Democrats do, and they will find a judge who will pass it the way they want to pass it, based on the fact that the question is, does a federal judge have the right to tell the president of the United States what to do and how to do it?
Yeah.
If the president is not breaking the law, because evidently this law that he used is Congress gave this law to the president, and this is.
But the problem with that law, Dave, is that it also specifies that these people have to be from a country where we are at war with them, and unfortunately, we are not at war with the nation these guys came from. I guess a go around is to have Congress declare war against the terrorist group they belong to. I guess you could probably do that, but because we're not at war with these countries, that law does not cannot be used to deport these people.
Didn't we go find a workaround for that with Trump declaring them as the group itself as terrorists, both Trinidad, Aragua,
Correct. He did. Yes, but the law he's trying to use specifies you have to be at war.
All of this. But the root of all of this, if you listen to Tom Homan, is these people came into the country illegally,
breaking federal law to come into the country.
It wasn't like when Title 42 was in effect, you had to go through the United States Embassy, which I believe is in northern Mexico, and you had to apply to come here. And when you got approved, the embassy printed out everything that you needed, and you went to that specific border entry point where they told you to go to, and then you could declare asylum or whatever you felt you needed, or get your immigration case and your right to get on the highway to
Start the process.
citizenship. Right, start the process. This is completely different. President Joe Biden shut off the Title 42. Said no, you guys don't have to do it anymore.
Huh.
And it was or capture and release. If they found you had come over the border, hey, okay, where do you want to go? And they drove you there, or dropped
Plus
you
all the
there,
buses
or
and planes
whatever.
and shit.
This whole thing has to go back to Joe Biden as some means of responsibility, but realistically, we have a president who's dealing with a serious illegal entry situation happening, and he should have a right to say no. If you get captured, you're going
if you
home.
break the law,
If you
including
get
immigration
in
law,
and you're
you are
illegal,
getting the hell out.
Right. If you get to the border and you're illegal, you're not coming
Right.
in. I mean, we paid you and we will send you back. The country can say no. They didn't visit Venezuela if he wanted the people back, because he evidently told MS-13, if you come back, we will kill you. So I'm sure he said that to everybody else. So he brought those people here. That's illegal. So, I mean, I don't know.
What's up, Randy? I see you scrolling
illegal.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Randy.
I'm doing like 3 different things here while you guys are talking. I'm doing some genealogy shit.
Oh, fair.
News director Randy Rose. Hard.
Yeah, I mean, my one client, his name's Tom Vernon, and not everyone has the lineage that other people do, but Tom Vernon and Nikki as well. They have this lineage that goes back, but not just go back, but people of importance.
Huh.
And I mean, Tom Vernon, his one grandfather was an admiral in the English Navy, and he was responsible for the whiskey being taken off of the ships because he was tired of the Navy guys being drunk on duty. So he was referred. So he was referred to as Admiral Grog, because what he gave them to drink was referred to as grog.
Right.
But so Tom Vernon, he's been with me 2.5 years now. I guess I just keep finding neat stuff about his family. But let's talk about Elon Musk.
Okay.
Okay, so Elon Musk, wealthy guy, much more money in the bank than what Trump has, right? And neither one of these guys really needed the job or the position that Elon has, or the job that Trump has as president, because they have their money, they have their hotels. He has his ticket ready to be stamped to go to Mars next year, like you were saying, and they don't need it. They're doing it because they love the country and they love the people. And you have this group of liberal assholes who are convincing the people, the minions, to go out and do harm against people who love and support Trump. So
actual physical substantial.
So what they're doing now is they're attacking the Tesla cars. Well, yeah, he might own the company that manufactured it. He might own the dealership that sold it, but the end user is a common day person who was convinced by the Democrats, oh, the gas guzzling cars are bad. We need to buy a Tesla. It's electric. It's great for our country. And that's what they did. And they're the ones who are taking the brunt of it, because they're the ones having to pay.
Unless you're Senator Mark.
You're the ones having to pay.
Unless you're Senator Mark.
Right, to replace the car if it was set on fire, or to pay the money to have it repainted or whatever. These people are assholes. They're idiots. Elon Musk
But-
owns a company that builds robots. Okay. And he said that in
Them
another year or
self-landing
two, he is
rockets.
going to have 2 million robots. You're attacking a guy
Mhm.
that, with a flick of a couple strokes on a keyboard, can turn those robots on and have them go to war against the liberals.
That would be
Well,
awesome.
yeah,
I'd love to see an army of Tesla
but you have
robots taking out
okay,
fucking.
but you have to take Elon hopefully at his word that the level of robots that are going to come out are basically home
You can't say
assistants.
that.
Yes,
Did you
they
see
can
the
do
video? No,
they
wait.
can
Did you
do
see the video of the robot in that warehouse that was taking boxes and loading them up? Something went wrong. The robot freaked out and started throwing the shit at the humans who were there standing next to the machine.
A lot of those are fake, but yeah,
right. A lot of those are fake, and also you have to understand that when that comes to those robots replacing humans, there won't be humans in there doing that. Why? Because it's been decided by who I don't know that that's a job that is degrading and below the abilities of a human, so that they're going to put a robot in there to do it, and they will work out all of all of that stuff anyway. But realistically, the Democrats' argument about, we don't want to own a Tesla because Elon Musk is a bad guy is really bogus, because you have people like Senator Mark Kelly, who's a retired astronaut, who got upset. He was one of the people that was upset that Musk sent something up to the space station to bring those
Yeah,
people
that's
home.
that's another thing. He
And the
rescued 2
Democrats,
guys, been up there for 9 months. You know?
yeah,
dude, and being in space
and
9 months is
and
no
now,
fucking joke. I'm here to tell you. The
right,
strain and
but
toll it places on the human body to be weightless for that long is ridiculous,
yeah,
and that's why they had to wait so long for them to come
yeah.
back after they docked. They're like, dude, we got to get these people in shape so they can get down off this ship and survive re-entry.
Well, didn't the
Yeah,
one that have to,
but I
didn't the
mean,
lady, because of her bone structure, have to go to a medical facility because of her bones?
they both,
Probably
they both, they both do. They're both getting total, total, total checkouts,
total
because
workups. Yeah,
there is risk of different things happening from prolonged,
But if it wasn't
prolonged
for
life.
Elon and his SpaceX, they'd still be up there.
yeah.
And I,
Right,
it just
Waiting on
blows.
Boeing.
right.
Yeah, it just blows my mind that the way these people
And
treat.
if it wasn't for Senator Mark Kelly trading in his Tesla and buying a gas guzzling Chevy SUV from General Motors, just think of all the people that he saved jobs for. Got to get a new mechanic, and
Truly,
we're going to be buying gas every
the
other day.
residuals.
Those things get about really poor mileage. My '97 Ford Expedition got 9 gas stations to the mile highway, and 13 gas stations to the mile highway, and 9 gas stations to the mile city,
Damn.
something like that.
Do you
So I mean, you know
do you think
they're
do you
not
guys think that the war between uh, Russia and Ukraine is ever going to come to an end?
That depends. I think that it has an ability to come to an end because I really don't think that Zelensky wants to keep losing all the damn time, and I really don't think that Russia wants to march their entire army in and take over the Ukraine. Which means that there's really no point for them to be killing each other all the fucking time. So eventually it'll stop.
right.
It'd be nice to see it stop sooner rather than later. But
But it
right
also
now with the U.S. using the Ukraine like its own little proxy army to fuck with Russia because Russia's evil.
Yeah.
right.
I
You
don't
know what?
know.
You know what? You know what I don't understand about Russia. Russia if he really wanted to bring this war to an end and secure, I mean, he could take over the
He would
entire
end it.
damn country. He has bombers
Yeah.
that can fly into the subspace between space and our atmosphere. So no drones can get them, no missiles can get them, no radars can detect them. He can fly a handful of those planes over Ukraine, drop the shitload of bombs on Ukraine, and the war comes to an end.
And then walk away because there's nothing left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Why?
Well,
It's
evidently,
almost
there
like he's
appears to be at
determined
11.
to kill off a huge amount of his own soldiers, use up all the World War II vintage, armor and Navy
Machinery
ships,
and armor.
so he can manufacture new shit.
Yeah.
It makes no sense to me.
But, well, there appears to be at 11 no fly zone or no fire zone on both countries. So it will be interesting to see if that holds up. But if Putin thinks he's going to get the rare earth mines and the mineral rights and all of that
Yeah.
and take it away from Zelensky, the world is going to come to Putin and say, you can't do that. And when Vladimir says, why can't I? Well, what would it be if the United States and all our allies invaded Russia and took away all your mineral resources from you? And the Clinton Foundation came back and bought uranium one from
Right.
you. We have to leave a country. You have to leave your enemy, even if they lost the war. You have to leave them their means
Something.
of surviving. You can't just say, okay, we won the war, so we're going to take this and we're going
Sure
to
you
take
can.
this. Well,
You can't just do what Stalin did to Ukraine and just block them off and be like, okay, now you can't take care of yourself.
That's what World War II is all about. Go in there and you lay waste to the land. You go over there as the victor. You take over the country and you start rebuilding it in your own image. But
and how did
Trump
that go for Hitler?
Yeah, it didn't go that well for him.
Well, yeah, well,
you had the fire and brimstone with Blitzkrieg tactics.
Well, they claim he was going crazy with syphilis because he had sex with a girl that had.
He was going crazy with men.
Yeah. But anyways,
he was going crazy.
If Zelensky wanted to bring it to an end as well, okay, Trump gave him a way to do it. Trump said, turn over this one nuclear power plant. I forget what the name of it was. I mean, if I knew it, well, I probably can pronounce it. But Trump said, give me that power plant. The United States will own it. Now we have a protected interest in your country, and Russia will come to a conclusion. But he won't do that. Or give us rights to the minerals, and we now have a reason to protect your asses. He won't do it. You know what? You know what the problem is?
That's actually not true.
Over $500 billion went to Ukraine, and Zelensky claims he only can have record of like $250 billion of the money. So where did the rest of the money come? That's probably what he's hiding.
No, okay. The way no. Well, you could say that, but no. The way that fund was set up was that the United States, and it was based on the rare earth mining deal going through. The money raised was going to go into that fund, and both the United States and Ukraine had to agree on how it was going to be spent in Ukraine. Now, I mean, that's how it was supposed to be. Well, okay, but then again, if the Democrats were there, if Kamala Harris was there, Ukraine would be part of Russia again because she just wasn't going to get involved. I just think that there is peaceful
talking about the reasons why he started this entire thing. He's mentioning the biolabs.
Right. Well,
I wonder what they're going to do with that.
Also, he's mad at
as far as these negotiations.
They just found
biological weapons.
They just found China has biolabs in our own damn country.
Well, we're paying for their shit.
We put Forget about who owns Wuhan Labs, because President Obama sent $30 million, which, from what anybody can put together, was used to fund a biological weapon.
It was.
Which is
It was so their
COVID-19.
lab could work on more dangerous stuff for us.
Right. And Bill Gates running around the country going, "We're just about ready to release the next strain."
Odd coincidence. Odd coincidence.
Yeah. We're no better than Syrian president who tested, who created stuff and used it against his own citizens. And President Trump said, "If you don't stop, we're going to bomb the hell out of your country." And the truth is, they did. But again, humanitarians got involved and said, we have to bomb you, and you know that. So find a place that we can bomb you where we're not going to hurt anybody.
We don't want to kill everybody, but you're going to catch these hands.
But yeah, we're not coming over to kill everybody. We're just coming over to show the force that we have and that we got you to stop doing what you were doing. So they picked this little air base in the middle of nowhere and gave Assad enough time to get all his armor and all his whatever out of there.
And then we took out whatever was left.
And then we went there and we took out the buildings. And to me, it was probably an even bigger game, because Assad probably said to Trump, "Well, let me get on the phone with my insurance agent and make sure, you bombing the hell out of this airport means that our insurance agent has to pay us so we can rebuild it." This whole war thing is a game.
Yeah.
And, especially when President Trump can say, "Hey, I'm sitting in front of a laptop and I'm looking at right where you are, and I can hit a key and blow you off the face of the earth. But, I'll give you a minute or two to get everybody inside your house out of your house except you. And if you don't want to be blown to bits, get out of your house and let them arrest you. I'm still going to blow up your house."
Yes.
But have you guys been seeing those ads for the robotic pets now?
I have seen a few people actually making YouTube videos of their robotic pet, but I haven't actually seen the advertisements now.
Somehow, I don't know. Pet robots, just like the household made robots. Are we going too far? I mean, we have
It's too late.
We have
too late. We have already gone too far.
I know. We've already, we're there, but we have humans that look like robots that look like humans, to where you can have sex with them if you want, and you have these robots who are look like robots that use for walking your dog or cleaning your house or driving your car and shit like that. But I just have visions of nightmares of a sci-fi TV series or movie coming to fruition when these things you say, enough's enough. I'm tired of
We're
watching.
headed for iRobot, The Matrix, or Gattaca. Those are the only three possibilities for our future. Brave New World, here we come.
The planet with the apes, except it won't be the apes. It'll be
Elon
robots.
is going to be. I saw Elon's going to be launching a rocket next year to Mars, and I was surprised to see that it only takes like 30 some odd days to travel from here to Mars. I thought it'd be like years.
Mm-hmm.
It was years until Elon Musk came up with a new engine.
And he wants to live on Mars. He wants to colonize Mars. He believes
do too.
He believes the other planets will be, and the ones that can't will probably have automated Amazon warehouses.
When you think about it, it's not that hard. He's going to launch these
Planet Amazon.
He's going to launch these ships. They're going to land on Mars, and they're going to interlock with each other, right? So you can live in the ships and go back and forth, almost like a space station, but on a bigger, broader style, platform.
Scope. Yeah.
Scope. Yeah, that'd be good. But he placed the number at 1 million. I'm not sure why he said 1 million. I guess he figures you get 1 million people there and they reproduce, and before you have 10 million or whatever.
Well, not only that, but you need 1 million people to declare your own nation.
Really, I did not know that.
Look up Asgardia, because they're another place. They're another people that did that. Asgardia Space Nation.
Asgardia.
I believe.
Space Station.
Space Nation.
Space Nation.
Yeah, they got their own parliament and everything. Their own government. Yeah.
But also,
population
I'm sure
Asgardia stands at 1,120,951 so far.
Right.
Okay.
And I would imagine that Elon's going to go even one better. It will be all interlocked, but at any time, if the Mars,
you could separate.
Right. If the Mars governing body under King Elon decides they don't, or the people that live there decides they don't want the William Rocket wing, they just
just take it off. There you go.
While everybody's sleeping, they offer the robot that's running security that night to take a nap and just go in there.
Or they just disconnect the magnets on the planet and let me float off into space.
Yeah. God. Oh man, we have just gone full blown derangement syndrome. I mean, everybody's
it's crazy. It's the nuts are out of the loony bin, and nobody else is left.
Yeah, and it's like I keep saying, when it comes to me and that Russian with our AK-47s or whatever they are aimed at each other, I'm going to pull out my my little bottle of Russian whiskey, and he's going to pull out his bottle of something else, and we're going to aim it at, we're going to show them to each other, and we're just going to go have a drink. And we're just, it's sad because we
just go drinking. Here's a bottle. Let's do it.
Because, what are we going to do? Because then there will be the only on Earth, unless it's two guys. But some countries have women that go into combat. So
truly,
that would be kind of weird. If you were the Adam and Eve, the only two people left on Earth.
God, I hope she's pretty.
You repopulate this whole thing.
With my luck, she'd be
60.
With my luck, she'd be ugly as sin.
I don't think.
Right?
I'm allowed to be as ugly as sin. I've been that for 63 years.
The whole world comes to an end, a nuclear apocalypse, and I crawl out from beneath shitload of cement and dirt and so forth, and I stand up and I'm brushing dirt off. I'm looking around, and I see out from the distance what looks like a female body. I thought, damn, we're the only survivors. We walk over. She has no teeth. Her hair's falling out. She's like 340 pounds.
Irradiated like a motherfucker. Yeah.
And she likes Tesla.
Hey, what?
She likes Tesla.
I'll marry. Thanks, but no thanks. See ya.
Got the Tesla in.
And she she has the Tesla T on her head, and you're saying it gets down to which kind of car do you want. She's going to say Tesla, and I'm going to have to say, well, you know what happened? There aren't any of them left. But if you find one that runs, it's yours. And if you're mechanically find a whole bunch of them, and you can put one together that runs.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about Trump and his changes to the
Ferraris
Rose
and
Garden?
all those expensive cars that I know I'm never going to be able to buy, that I could just send into a brick wall just because I'm the only one here on Earth that's going to drive it. So,
So
I I like to throw that question to people. What would it be if you found out that you were the only one left, and obviously in the course of your traveling the world, you come across the opposite of you, a female or a male, and it's all yours. You could go into Fort Knox and you could take everything out of it,
But what if you
and then
if there's nothing
do a
left, then
video
what the hell's
that
going to
shows
happen
there's
with all the
nothing
money?
there. Yeah,
It's like that episode of Twilight. So I'm the last person alive now. I finally have time to, do all this stuff, and then all of it's meaningless.
yeah. Michael Anthony being the only person on Earth, he has time to do everybody's best, and his own.
So did you
All
guys?
the broadcasts.
So did you guys hear my question?
All the broadcasts.
What's up, Randy?
I said, so did you guys hear my question about what you guys think about Trump's changes to the Rose Garden?
Is that the Rose Garden in Portland?
At the White House.
No, the Rose Garden at the White House.
I didn't even hear about those.
Yeah, he is tearing up the grass and some of the flowers, and he's laying down cement to create a patio for a patio deck.
That's all right. You want to put in a gazebo, Trump? Put in a gazebo.
Yeah, because people are saying, "Oh my God, no!"
The only thing I could say is that you have to save the roses because the roses have historical.
Well, so does
apparently
so does the vine. The vine was
you
a
can't just
gift.
come in and scorched earth the whole thing.
Yeah,
you can make changes and updates so long as they're nice.
Yeah, apparently the vine was a gift from Ireland. Some kind of special vine that grows. That was a gift to the United States back in the day. So, apparently that has some significance.
Back in this day, Ireland gave us a gift back. Gave us Rosie O'Donnell back.
So, wouldn't that be something, right?
I still think that that's going to be a hilarious thing. More and more as these people saying, I'm giving up my United States citizenship and I'm going to this country, and they get to that country and that country says, no, you have 30 days to leave. So here's your 30 days. You have 30 days to leave, and we will make sure you leave, or you'll just stay at the airport in customs. You can't leave customs unless you're leaving the country.
I've actually done that
in
Canada.
There's no country in the world that supports. Right, there's no country in the world that likes Trump that is going to take her.
No.
I mean, maybe she might get into Britain, but
evidently that's not the hardest.
Maybe, but King Charles doesn't have any authority over there.
Hey, and King Charles is inviting Trump back for the second time, which is something that's not been that is unheard of. And Trump has accepted the return visit, but they're also are looking to offer the United States to be an honorary country of the United Kingdom. Almost like you know what I mean? Have you seen that?
No, that's hilarious.
He wants to have a meeting with Trump because he wants to show Trump the deed that England still has because the king never signed off.
What's we're looking for?
Yeah, that'd be
the King of England.
That'd be funny as hell.
The King of England had a human chess game. He paid for both sides of the war, so it was like just a battle, a made-for-TV battlefield.
It's like we do with Iran. We're paying for, or what we're doing with Israel right now. We're giving Israel money and weapons, and then we're giving Iran money and weapons. So we're really controlling both sides of this fucking Israel thing.
I think we do that because we don't want to be the ones that cause the world war that ends the world. Because I can't imagine being President Trump down in hell with all the other leaders of the world down in hell, trying to convince the devil to let him stay. I don't know where else you can go that's worse than hell, but because I just wouldn't want to be the country that starts that fires the first nuclear bomb or whatever it is.
Because it's going to be nasty.
Everybody else is going to fire, they're all going to, it doesn't matter. William could be the first one who fires a nuclear warhead. You and I, Randy, are going to fire up all our stuff that is going to hopefully blow up his nuclear warhead. It's okay. We knocked out his warhead before it did any damage, but all that radiation is going to flow around the world and kill us all. Unless they use those new Fauci missile company COVID-19 missiles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
he
was
must be a pretty bad scientist, considering that this was like years ago. He launched COVID-19, and it's all these years later, and they still haven't come up. They still haven't launched. I thought we should be up to like COVID 250 by now.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. I know they got that disease X sitting on the back burner, and that terrifies me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've been getting these damn texts from my drugstore saying about coming in and getting your free vaccination for this, and this. That's like 5 things do you want me to be vaccinated for?
Yeah.
At the same time, because they know
it doesn't make a lot of sense.
So I found it. So I found that King Charles is preparing to offer the United States associate membership in the Commonwealth during Donald Trump's upcoming state visit to England. So it's almost like you want to buy Canada, we're going to buy you.
That is absolutely insane. To think that we're going to come in and bring all of our resources, all of our power, and all of our money to help their stupid little... Nah, sorry.
And if you look at the country of England, forget about Scotland and everything else, Wales and everything else that's over there. If you look at the country of England, isn't it about as big as the state of Delaware anyway? It's not.
I think it's a little bit smaller than Delaware.
Yeah. So, I mean, why would we... What good? I mean, what good?
I mean, we could do a lot of good for their people, our people.
Yeah, I can see it. If we become an associate membership, if Trump moves his way up and he becomes alongside the king, and then he starts bringing England under damn control and kicking out the M people, making England great again. And if he has the power and ability to do that, then I can say, yeah, go ahead, go for it. And then just
but it's not going to work that way.
Yeah. Absorb England.
It's going to get Trump. Trump would get his third term in 2028 to make up for not getting 46, and he would do the same thing that he's doing with illegal immigrants now, deporting them to wherever they can go. He's just going to take all of those people and deport them to England.
Send them to England. England will take them. They like taking people in for some reason.
I mean, eventually there will be too many people there. Doesn't matter what they are or who they are. There's just going to be too many people there, or it's not going to be worth going there anyway. But Charles learned that.
It doesn't say.
I wish the Queen was still alive, because I think that she is the only one that might go in and say, "Hey, I gave you independence and allowed you to set up a government and run the country, but the truth is, I still own the damn country. I'm the Queen. Parliament."
Now,
that'd be funny.
The worst thing that England did was to give Parliament more power and authority than what the King and Queen has now. That's where they lost it, and that's what the downfall is. I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. I lived 3 years in England, and I know what the people of England, they're very proudful people, okay? And for their government, just like ours to a certain degree, allowing a certain ethnicity to enter into the country legally or illegally to start taking over control of cities and towns and hamlets to where the English citizen is not allowed to travel through, that where even the military is prevented from driving through a certain area because it's controlled by a certain ethnicity, they are losing their country. And it's only a matter of a few more years before before England is gone, and it's going to be a new
Oh,
third world Middle Eastern country.
It's
And
gonna be weird.
the
Like
or
people
at
of
some
England,
Jesus.
point, the
the
the,
people of
the
England got to wake up and start kicking them out.
okay. But they're probably not going to do that right now until they see how successful President Trump is with kicking out the people that were the illegal immigrants that he's trying to kick out.
The
You
only
know,
thing, I can see is
uh,
a civil war in England
but
to kick out the young
but
people.
also Congress. I'd want to go to the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, and say, "Hey, didn't Venezuela, in theory, declare war on us when they found all these people that they didn't want in Venezuela anymore because they're criminals, whatever? Empty them out, close those prisons down, save that money, send them to the United States illegally, publicize that we're sending them to the United States illegally, right under Joe Biden's nose. Kamala Harris was standing there holding the gate and giving people their free iPhone, iPad, and Social Security card, and all the credit cards up to Watching Zoo and
Yep.
stuff. And I mean, we, meaning the three of us,
Whereabouts on the bodies that
but
walk
we,
on shoe?
but we did this. We did this to ourselves, and we, in theory, allowed it to happen because it's happening, and we allowed Chuck Schumer to think he this much power to where he, like he did yesterday, we're going to go into Republican districts and make them change their vote. And if they don't, we're going to punish them. And I'm thinking, who the hell are you?
It's like, wait a minute.
I mean, if I was a Democrat in New York, I'd be rounding up Democrats in New York to want to vote out Schumer just because I'd be saying, I'm not going into Republican neighborhoods and knocking on the door with a gun. And, if they say they're not a Republican, no, I'm not doing the Democrat crusades. I'm sorry. I'll see the Democrat Party rot in hell before I become a member of the Democrat crusades. They
Yeah, I think we
I
have
don't
about
get it. It's like
maybe 10 true Democrats left out of their entire party.
yeah, but I mean, I don't get it anymore. I mean, they're getting to the point where they're just doing the stuff in front of us because they don't think we're going to do anything.
Because we haven't
Schumer
literally haven't done anything. Except what we have done is try and change the game from within the game. We have done everything we can as a people in 2024 to change this thing more in our favor. But we can only do so much.
Should be removed. Right. But Chuck Schumer should be removed as the Senate Minority Leader, removed of all his committee assignments, and censured. I don't know for how long, but
he just censured.
Talking about crazy ideas.
What?
Or tried to?
Who did?
Democrats.
Who did? House Democrats. Well, that's not going to fly because House Republicans own the joint.
Well, yeah, they have the majority. But yeah, those I was brought up.
Yeah. But and she can be a little crazy. And, her.
She's a fireball with all of her benefits
her mouth,
and good and bad.
Yeah, her mouth isn't always wording things the way things should be worded. But Chuck Schumer, has been in much longer and knows how the game is played and knows that you don't go in front of the cameras and say what you Republican districts to should
have known better.
Punish them if they decide not to become a Democrat.
Yeah.
You know,
because that's that crazy talk.
but every Democrat in New York is going to vote for Schumer when he runs for re-election next year.
You know, the Democrat Party. I'll say the Democrat Party. The people who vote Democrat or vote for or who vote are independent and vote for the Democrats. They need to understand that if they want, unless they're happy with the way the circumstances are, they need to start, voting for a different a person to get out the old Democrats and bring in a new, fresh breed of the Democrats who are more in tune with the people and the way this world is going. I mean, you have Democrats in control of cities that are essentially third world nations, fourth world nations. Hell, they're shitting and peeing in the streets. They're living in the streets. You know, uh,
Crimes through the roof.
and if they want to make changes, they have to vote in new blood to make the changes happen. But they keep unless they're still in the elections, that could be they could be still in the elections, and we haven't proved it yet.
We've proven it. We proved it with the Maricopa County audits that gave us all the data we needed to show that was stolen.
Can you?
Yeah, but look what good it did. It didn't do any good.
The 2026 midterms and every seat in the House and every seat in the Senate is Republican under a Republican president. Can you? I mean, I just want to see Schumer's head go.
As entertaining as it would be, I really don't want to see an all Republican government because that's exactly what they had in World War II. They had one popular party that came in and wiped out all the other popular parties, and then you just wound up with King Hitler. I think we need the independent. I think the independent party has a really big opportunity to come up with something amazing here. If they just do it and quit fucking messing around with these Democrats.
Yeah, you would think by now with the Republicans having control of both the White House, the Senate, and Congress, that more laws will be getting passed, more things be getting done, and it's almost like they're at stagnated and they're not getting anything done.
Because the Democrats are keeping them from doing anything.
Yeah, but it looks to me like the only thing that's really getting done in D.C. is Trump's agenda because he's the only one actually pushing anything. Nobody else is coming up with these ideas. Nobody else is trying to stop these things. Nobody else is going in with Doge and fucking auditing everybody and finding out where all the waste is.
Do you think we'll get a refund?
Yeah, I think we will. I honestly do. I think we're supposed to be getting something like 20% of the final number of what they're finding and all this stuff.
Yeah, but when's the final number going to be the final number?
It could be 5 years from now. Who knows? I know we're going to be getting something.
It could be.
I don't know how long it takes Doge to edit to audit the entire.
5 years from now, 5 years from now, if we have a Republican president, a Democrat president, we're going to end up owing Doge money.
Well, with the Democrat, because they're going to be like, "Oh, now you have to pay for the audit," and then we're going to be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. I was.
All right, Jim. As we wind down, what do you got, Randy? What do you got, Bill? William?
I was hoping that to see some of that money soon, sooner rather than later, because I like to spend some money on to fix up the house, But
I want to get my streaming set up.
You're probably right. We probably won't see it. By the time they get done goofing around, I'll be dead. It's a shame that you have to.
And your family won't need $1.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. I need to print out this stuff, look at it, talk about it, and then work out the first payment. But I think the insurance sounds like a really good deal.
Yeah.
In fact,
Your
no,
Doge counselor is going to say, "I'm sorry, you just got a $125,000 estate payment from your grandfather, Randy. So no, you don't get any money now. If you gotten 124,000, we'd give you a penny refund because you hadn't hit the no refund. But I don't know.
yeah. Get this,
And they
guys.
change it almost every.
A few years back, when my wife's mom passed away, we were in the funeral parlor making the arrangements, right? And the guy knew that the budget was tight, the barrier, and he said, "You know what? I have a casket in the back that has a scratch on it." He said, "I can, offer that to you for, I forget what it was. It was like more than half the price off of a brand new one, right?" And this is a brand new casket. Came in and got scratched, right? And he said, "Here it is." I mean, it was beautiful. If you call a casket beautiful, but my wife and I are looking over and trying to find this scratch he's talking about, right? And I said, "Well, I don't see anything wrong with it." And he said, "Right here." I thought, "Holy shit!" Like a little teeny little mark, and he couldn't sell that as new. And we got it.
Wow.
We got it for a few bucks. And when you think about it, if they can mark something like that down so drastically, then why ask the multiple thousands of dollars up front to start with? That's just wrong. But anyways, she got buried in a very nice casket.
They're going to cremate you. Do you want our ashes mixed up with that casket ashes mixed up?
Notice that. They say you should make these plans ahead of time so your family won't have to worry about it when the time comes, right? And when you think about it, I can go in there and make all these plans for what I want done, and I drop dead, and they could take my body out into the woods and leave it there for the coyotes to chew on, and I would never know it. It's like.
You're not there anyway. You already left. Randy Rhodes has left the building.
Yeah, Randy Rhodes left the building. Yeah.
It's like my burial plans. I got me a nice little hole out West Creek, dug about 5 feet deep, because if you go 6 feet, you hit water. But yeah, I'm planning on being out there. I worry about no massive nothing.
I used to tell my wife
to put a little stick on it that says, "Here lies somebody."
And before you guys go,
I used to tell my wife a green trash bag in a 50-cent city of Putnam, Connecticut, out on trash day.
Yeah, bam, done, handle.
They probably wouldn't take it, or someone would. Well, the other thing about Putnam and trash day is it doesn't matter. Sometimes people just take your bag, figuring that they got a bag of your good stuff because it's out on the curb. I'd be looking down laughing if I saw someone rip the bag open at their house. There I am smiling at them, going, "Gotcha!"
I couldn't even imagine. That'd be freaky as hell.
You're coming with me. as Randy said, his relative.
Hang on a second. I want to ask.
That dream.
Michael Anthony sent me a friend request. I guess I'm popular now.
Well, I told him that you were coming on. But yeah, I mean, we got a couple of minutes. I got to wrap this up at 11:30. But if Michael wants to come in and say a prayer and some words of wisdom, then we should.
Yes.
It's a link. It's very easy for me to do it. Here. All right, let me find where. There he is. Okay. All right. We'll try this. This is the same link that everyone else is using, Michael, and I just sent it to you. And if it works, you are more than welcome to come on for a few minutes.
Yeah, we got a few minutes here.
Yeah, you got a few minutes. But, so we'll wait a minute or two. Otherwise, join us tonight on the American. And
Hey, William, how close are you
where
to Kodiak, Alaska?
I'm not super close to Kodiak. That's kind of on the other side of this little peninsula we're on.
The reason
So
why
it's like I was in Florida. Kodiak is Louisiana. So
The
it's like right there.
reason why I ask is that I had a client for a few months who was from Kodiak, Alaska. He is a Baptist minister, okay,
Oh, nice.
and he had a very long Confederate, very long Southern, um, background, and he paid me to do his ancestry because he wanted the connection to the Confederates. But he was a Baptist minister from where was he originally from? He uh, owned a bunch of land. He was a farmer, had actually a rancher. Had a bunch of land, and he sold it all to move to Kodiak, Alaska, to take over a Christian mission there in
That's
Kodiak.
awesome.
So they're living off the grid. Everything that they eat, they hunt,
They grow.
and they grow. It's his wife and his kids. He makes the black powder rifles. Okay,
Oh, nice.
and he makes them from hand, and he sells them for extra money, which goes to the Christian
Yeah,
ministry
back
there.
into the ministry.
The guy is a very nice. He does live broadcasts all the time.
Huh.
But yeah, he and his daughter, his older daughter, lives with him, and she also helps with making the rifles. But she also they both also make these knives. I mean, knives. They're like the size of a freaking sword. But they make these knives for hunting and so forth, and that's what she does mostly. She does the knives. But
Nice.
yeah, if you ever get a chance to check out Johnny Walker, Kodak Alaska, really nice guy.
Yeah, let me write that down.
yep.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right. Well, we'll give Michael another minute or two, and then I'm gonna have to get you guys closing
I can
comments.
send. Do you think it'd be better?
I sent it to him, and I tested. I sent it to him. I tested it. It does work. It may not work for him, but I tested it, and it worked
Fair
fine.
enough.
So I'll give him another minute. But said to him, I got to wrap it up at 11:30. He might have.
Yeah. I've had those instances. Like I have a time that's like a 45-minute buffer between the time Jerry's show starts and I can actually be there. So I know how to suck it.
I know you guys. You professionals are so busy all the time. Guys like me, you can ask me, and I got 45 days to be there.
I try and come on.
Anyway, what?
I try and go on
really
when I can.
I'm glad you do.
Yeah.
I always wish that I got to the point one day where I'd be being invited to so many other broadcasts I wouldn't have time to do my own.
Dude,
sometimes doing my own
that is the dream.
A lot more difficult than being a guest.
And you can just be a full-time guest.
Sometimes you can say right, and sometimes you can say things when you're a guest on other people's broadcasts that you would never say on your own broadcast.
Yeah.
Hey,
I know Rumble's got a big spot open now that Bongino's gone. Go fill them shoes.
Before we jump off, I'm gonna quick share this. Can you share this, Dave?
Okay. Yeah. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, to Randy Rhodes. Mind of Randy Rhodes.
This is Johnny Walker and his daughter.
Welcome to Alaskan Offals. Here, another fine day in Kodiak. Look here. Got all thumbs with me. Excuse me.
And our elusive new hideout.
Yeah, look at that. That's the Bat Cave. Y'all seen it. That's where the boys have been working on their chunk gun, which...
On my Tempur-Pedic mattress. Topper.
Yeah, see, it's under that buffalo. The topper off an old mattress. Got it.
Not an old mattress. It's the topper off the Tempur-Pedic mattress.
You know, we just couldn't find nobody who wanted it. After you'd laid on it, they said, no, we don't want it. And,
Dude, you can Craigslist a mattress even if it's covered in urine and blood.
I could not. I couldn't even give it away.
He didn't try.
Somebody, I said,
That's my mattress.
Put it in your dog house. This will make a good place for your coon dog to lay. So anyway.
We don't even have a coon dog.
It's one soon.
We're getting two.
We're getting two coon dogs, a squirrel dog, a German police, and I can't think of that old big giant dog.
A wolfhound.
The Irish wolfhound. We're getting all of them at our new home.
Minimum of 6.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Half
going to be
dozen.
great. And a parrot, and maybe a crow that talks. And
Oh, I'm scared of birds. I'm scared of birds. I don't do birds.
But looky here now. Big shout out to
That's
Bob
what he makes.
Roller, 1974. Lock and
Nice.
triggers. This thing is a deadly pumpkin slinging beast. And these boys have been getting the starvation site picture.
I mean,
And they're getting ready today to start chasing spiders.
we're singing in the, Gray looks like he's tubing and singing in the Sound of Music back there with that
Yeah,
hat
come
on.
here, Gray.
What?
You're starting the Sound of Music with that hat, ain't you? Come up here.
Anyways, this guy.
That's good.
This guy sold everything he owned to go to Kodiak, Alaska, to take over this Christian mission. He, his wife, his daughter, and some grandkids live there off the land. They what they eat, they cook, they catch, or they grow. Christian people from across the world go there for their time in the woods. He makes the rifles. They make the knives. Really nice guy. And he gave it all to the Lord. He has very little in the bank because it all goes back into the mission. But check him out, Alaskan Offos, Johnny Walker. Tell him Randy sent you. But yeah,
Dude, I think I shall.
they're good
That's
people.
Awesome.
Very, very enjoyable. And every Sunday he has a 10-minute church thing that he does on Sundays.
Maybe we'll get him on the show
Bring him
sometime.
on Tuesday or Thursday night. Yeah, we should get him on the show Tuesday, Thursday night.
There you go. Well, no, you just keep in mind, guys. This guy is a minister, and he doesn't go for swearing and stuff like that. You'll take notice that he has a couple of things that he does all the time. He's chewing tobacco, so he's always spitting out the tobacco, and it's always it's a big joke because he always aims for his daughter's shoes because she's right next to him. So that's a big thing. He's always pushing her out of the screen. He wants the full camera.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
But yeah, very enjoyable, and they're like only 5 or 10 minutes long, but very, very enjoyable. I like.
Dude, and it's from Alaska.
Yeah.
What up?
Right.
And
the
guy
first time in 6 years. The other night, a very good friend from Missouri, I think, pastor told me if the F-bomb is dropped in a broadcast or anyone is swearing in a broadcast, please do not send me that particular broadcast.
Well, that's gonna be every
Because
broadcast.
people in her group, people in her group complained, and they weren't complaining about the casual use of someone saying or dropping an F-bomb. It was if the language on the broadcast, because I've been known to say it myself a few times here and there on a broadcast, but if we do, she was very polite about it, but please don't send it to my groups. They love your show, but they if the broadcast gets a little too graphic, they will ask the
Okay.
moderators to make sure
Does
they delete it. I said, I'll just make sure that I won't send it to.
Does the streaming services
Go ahead,
that we
Randy.
use, the streaming services that we use for broadcast, does it have the ability to bleep out curse words?
I don't
It should.
know.
I know that
I
most
don't
software
know.
offers some
And
kind of a 5-second lead, and you can have that set up so you can edit it yourself. But I
Yeah,
don't know
but
about
I
it
mean,
streaming.
not for
requires
live broadcast. I
but
know
but if you're
when
doing it live, it requires having a live producer watching just that
Okay.
to
I mean,
do it. But I mean,
a
realistically,
live producer's not going to, unless you're on a delay. A live producer's not going to catch that swear word. I know when you're watching it and the service is actually typing out the words. And if it sees a curse word, it will blink out the curse word. I know it does that, but as far as
Huh.
hearing it, you know,
some studios are set up that they actually have that. They have that 5 or 7 second delay, and they're capable of doing it themselves while they're doing it. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I have enough
Like
trouble
it's not
just doing
easy.
what
I had
I'm doing. But realistically, my point is, if I said to the pastor, a lot of times someone just drops it at the spur of the moment, and it's not like they're sitting there repeating it. And so I said, and I can't control that. If someone is getting a little excessive with it, yes, I can ask them, but I also said that I'll just, I share the broadcast. Other people share the broadcast. If you know that you don't want a particular episode shared because somebody swore or someone got a little excessive, with it, please don't.
yeah,
I want people to watch. I want people to watch, and we call it uncensored on Tuesday and Thursday night because I want people to think they have the right to say whatever they want to say, however they want to say
yeah,
it.
but at the same time, that this person has to realize that the nature of the people on the show, they're going to swear, and it's just going to be natural because they swear in their home life. They're going to swear on the show. Now you can tell the people, hey, before we go live, guys, you gotta watch the language.
Right.
No more swearing, no more f bombs, blah blah
Right.
blah.
Our
And
in the college station, it was really funny. The chancellor of the district would come in before the new people in the college radio station started doing their shows. And he would say, remember, we are a non commercial educational FM facility. It is better to say the F word, but he would say it's better to say the word F than it is to say the ticket price to a concert that we're giving tickets to because that's a commercial advertisement and we can and will get in trouble by the FCC if we do it. So and it's the first word that comes out of my mouth if I'm upset anyway, because I grew up in California, and in California, saying fuck is like saying shalom. So, it means whatever you.
that's just like when
it means whatever you
when I
want
was
it
working
to
for
when you say it.
Ancestry, the company. They needed people to work the third shift, and because third shift was most of the customers were from Australia, and they said, just so you know, Australians curse. It's just their nature, and they will say things, and then they'll be mean and they'll be nasty. But that's the way they are. You cannot take it personally. So if you want to work this shift, make this extra money, be aware
Right.
you're going to hear it. And I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you what, she was not wrong.
Yeah.
Yep. But by the same token, my producer came running in one day and handed me something and said, "You have to read this exactly how it is. You can't be Dave Globin and ad lib around it or make comments about it. You just have to read it exactly how it is worded." So I said, "Okay, Robin, I will read it exactly how it is worded." So I took it and I had it in my hand and I started reading it, and then I put it down and I looked at the engineer and I said, this was the most effingest blank cop word, the most effingest BS they have ever asked me to read in my 4 years of being here. I was invited to have lunch with the chancellor and several members of the board of trustees who, one by one, took their opportunity to say, you really are a great guy. You know, you're chair of the College Republicans Club. You're the executive vice president of our student government, which is like being the prime minister of a small country. We love you. But the other day, you read what we asked you to read, knowing that you were not allowed to say anything during it or whatever. And then we heard this. And I said, yes, you did. Because I went like this instead of looking at the person. I went like this, meaning turn off my mic. And then I just, because I thought the mic was off, said it.
Whoops.
It went over the air. We did not get an FCC violation for my colorful language, but I did get a stern warning. Make sure your mic is turned off before you.
Right. Got cut on your own.
Supposed to add. Yeah. And like I said, I apologize profusely because I was looking at the screen and I went like this, and I thought
they caught you. I thought they caught it.
I thought he had turned off my mic, but then I turned around and I looked, and he unfortunately was not there at that second. So, but from that point on, I made sure I covered my own mic. They could do anything else, but I covered my own mic.
I remember, when I was working for a security company, and we had headsets on with a microphone, right? And no, we had regular phones, right? And I got this customer called in, bitching and complaining, right? And I was stupid. I took the receiver, right? Hold on. I took the receiver, right? And I put it against my chest, right? And I said some very unnice things about this customer, not realizing my diaphragm is here.
They can hear every word.
She heard every word I said.
Every single one. Yes, you have to learn to mute your cellular phone.
That was not smooth.
When you don't want people to. It was so bad, I would think that I hit the mute button, and then I would go, this is a test. Did I really mute the phone? And if they talked back to me, then I knew I didn't, because I was notorious for that too.
Yes, well, I got to get
You
going.
got to wrap it up. I'm sorry that that couldn't join us. For those of you that watch me and Randy, we're on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Friday is Red Friday morning caffeine. We may be on tomorrow morning around 10 o'clock. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I always say that I haven't decided yet because I'm sure we will. I'll send the final plan to everybody later today. But you all know, and you're all welcome tonight. Please join us on the American.
So you think if I would do a live broadcast and advertise ahead of time about the video, that's something that people might enjoy?
Yeah,
maybe. I know it's working for one of my buddies. He runs that what is it? Country Conservative, Charlie. He does a preview show for his stuff.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's what the whole idea of what the Monday, Wednesday, Friday was supposed to be. It wasn't supposed to be an hour and a half. It just an hour and a half, or it was supposed to promote, in this case, the American Rebellion Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because they, against advice of their counsel, have invited me into their family, and They know how to turn my mic off if they think I'm going to say the wrong thing anyway. So,
Yeah. Anyways, I gotta get going.
anyway,
Guys, just so my calendar is filled. So right now I'm not taking any new clients. But if you have something that you really want to research, I would squeeze you in. Right now, I'm
great.
kind of stuck. I have this one person who's looking for the Oregon Trail connection to their ancestors, and I'm just having a hard time trying to find research materials to find a list of people who did the Oregon Trail. It's not, it's different from
That's going to be hard to do.
it's different from people who came here on ship because the captain of the ship had a list of everybody that's on board the ship. So
Yeah.
finding a passenger list on board a ship is very easy.
Way easier than tracking people across the Oregon Trail. There's so many nameless grave sites that just, Oregon Trail's a pain.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I did tell the person I'll do the best I can. No refunds if I can't I get the answer for them, and they accepted this. They accepted the challenge. So I'm working on that. So he was my last person. But if you have something really want to research on, let me know and we'll talk. By the way, I gotta go on. These headsets
All right.
killing my ears.
All right,
so
bro.
You guys take care.
They do. They're not. They're not designed to be comfortable. Yeah, they're not designed to be comfortable. Any closing thoughts? Is it Will? Is it Bill? Or is it William?
You can call me anything but late for dinner. You can just go with Will for now.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah. But I don't know.
Any closing thoughts you have?
I think that we all need to invest a lot of time in our hobbies these days because trying to keep up on the news cycle is almost impossible, and there's no way to keep up on social media without getting upset. So focus on self this year, guys.
Yep.
That's my advice.
All right, William. Are you off on the American Rebellion?
I'm going to try and get on the American Rebellion, but every single time I try, my audio doesn't work for some reason. But I'm going to give it a shot again.
No. Okay. All right. Looking forward to seeing you there. All right.
Yeah. All right. Thanks again, Dave.
Thank you. I give. Let's see. Parachute's ready. You ready to jump?
I'm ready to jump.
All right. William Lockett from, you've seen him on the American Rebellion. You've seen him on our Boogie with the Bull broadcasts. I never ask him if he does any of his own by himself. Great guy. Love hearing his view. Dr. Craig Peterson is in the house. He was the last thing. Ted Hutchison was watching the morning 10 a.m. morning caffeine. They don't always get a whole lot of views. So if we appreciate anybody who watches it, maybe more people will come on. Maybe plan better, more people will come on. But hey, like William just said, good time to take up your hobbies aside from spending your whole day on Facebook. I did 5 word searches yesterday in a row, and so I gotta guess it was probably an hour, maybe less, just because I like doing that. I'm pretty good at them. But do something like that. I don't know. Write a book, read a book. It's okay to follow the news, and it's good to follow the news and understand what is going on. And it's okay to be angry at it and not agree with it. And that's just the way it is. I mean, one of these days, everything will be fixed, and we won't have to worry about it until the next time somebody says it's broken and it needs to be fixed. And in closing, to all the Democrats who are upset about how Doge is doing what it's doing and how its leader, Elon Musk, is doing, has to do, my only words are remember that delivering on government efficiency, DOGE, was created in executive orders by Barack Obama. And it was designed, if you go look and read the executive orders, to do exactly what DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, is doing right now. So you can't be angry at, I mean, you can be angry because you have a right to be angry, but you can't be upset at a Republican who is doing the job that his Republican president gave him to do because a Democrat president created it, but maybe they didn't give that job to a Democrat, or maybe they did it a different way, didn't publicize it as much. I don't really know. Those from Bill Clinton and Barack Obama's speeches explaining it, saying exactly what it was going to do, which is exactly what we are doing with it now. They just didn't seem to follow along and do it, or follow through and do it. So be angry if you want to be angry. Don't be angry if you don't want to be angry. As far as who's going to get a Doge refund, that seems to change every other second, or as soon as they say who's going to get it. One day it's if you make $40,000 or less as a married couple to get it because you don't pay enough taxes anyway, or you don't pay income taxes. And my view on that has been, well, I worked for a long time, paid taxes for a long time before I became disabled, and now live on half tax-free income plus whatever my family treasures Facebook page. You'll see what looks like a checkered chicken is the profile picture. Go there and take a look around. You'll see beautiful handmade crocheted items by my daughter-in-law. And the one that I have handy today is, okay, someone asked the other day if we had eagles. Cupcake the Eagle. The Eagle is $8 plus whatever it costs to ship it to you. Donna did say that she could put, I don't know, feathers on top to make it look more like a bird and not a cupcake. Because someone the other night thought it looked like a so if you are in, you can message me and I will get all your information. And like I said, it's $8 for one. There are two that are here right now, but $8 for one, $16 for the pair, and plus postage. You can use any credit card through Square. You can use Venmo. You can use Apple Pay and Cash App also. So we got you covered just about every way there is possible. You'll see a flyer for the shoot, I don't have it in front of me, but there is a craft show tomorrow that we printed the flyer on. Also, April 5th, there is a flea market that Donna and our daughter-in-law had been going to, was moved and do it. And that flyer will be up and buried. Oh, that we can post it anywhere else on social media. I can get it. So see that, come by, and if you're in the area, say hello and buy stuff. You can come by and say hello, but if you don't buy stuff, no, that's not true. We're very polite when we're there. And if you don't see something that you like, either in person, you can ask them if they can customize something for it, or you can message them through the Family Treasures Facebook page, and usually you'll be very happy with the results. So on that note, it's almost 12 o'clock, so it's time for everybody to go have lunch. And I don't know what's going on. 7 o'clock tonight, 7 o'clock East, on the American Rebellion blogger page. Facebook, join us all for the American Rebellion. And Double B's for victory. This Boogie with the Bull broadcast has come to an end. You know, we're copyrighted by whoever, and that does anyway. Plus, it'll take me a minute to remember. You've been watching Boogie with the Bull, Red Friday Morning Caffeine, a copyrighted presentation company. And I'm giving you the right to take it and share it anywhere you want. Just let me know if you share it off of Facebook. If you want to share it off of Facebook, I prefer you go to the Boogie with the Bull YouTube channel and take a link and share it from there. Shouldn't really make any difference because these days, if we share it anywhere on the internet, you get asked to be redirected to wherever it was posted on. Anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So live well, prosper. Special thoughts and prayers go to Jamie Lawless, Robert Lawless's wife, who was in the hospital last night looking at emergency appendectomy surgery. Robert was going to be with us this morning, but unfortunately that wasn't possible because dealing with family is more important. So we'll get Robert on anytime. Or look, tonight, if Robert can be on tonight, I'm sure he will pop in. Anyway, I'm just going to fly up here.